There he is at Glasgow. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Pete Doherty.
Can't stand me now, can't stand me now. Stand me now, can't stand me now. Stand me now, can't stand me now.
Pete Doherty. Pete, how lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
May I say, you know what? Well, you look great. I think you look very healthy and well. We'll get to that in a minute. But you know what? I've met you once before here on the show, and I'd forgotten that you're a tall fella. Because you're quite slight, and in photographs I always think you look quite small, but you're a big guy. Look at this. Look at this. He's a proper grown man. How old are you, Pete?
27.
You know, I could be your father.
Oh, God.
That's nice. Sit down.
That's another reason.
Sit down, son. Now, I don't take this the wrong way, but obviously I'm glad you turned up at all, because I was worried when we booked you. I thought because you lead a slightly wild lifestyle, or maybe you don't, but certainly that's the impression we get, whether or not you would be, you know, you'd have timekeeping skills, whether you would have a change of heart, or whether you would get easily distracted on the way to the studio. And yet here you are, you turn up dead on time. Do people make that kind of judgment in advance of you, think? Are people a bit worried about whether or not you're going to be reliable?
Yeah, they all say that I'm taller than they think as well. Yeah.
When you were a little boy, Pete, is this what you wanted to do? Was it always your dream to be in a band, to be singing, to be performing?
Do you know what, I think up to the age of about 14, 15, when it dawned on me I wasn't going to play for QPR, that's all I wanted to do was play for QPR.
So really when you just wanted to play professional football?
Yeah, so I'm about half a mile off, I think. You know.
I can't imagine you, I don't know what you're like, but I can't imagine you being a footballer. You don't seem robust enough to be a footballer.
I wasn't sort of, you know what I mean, a hard nut getting stuck in so much. In fact, I was a bit, I fancy myself as a bit of a Rodney Mice, sort of socks down, foot on the ball, look around.
You could have been a bit like Peter Crouch. He's a tall fella and he can do the, you ever done a robotic dance? That was part robot, part puppet, if you don't mind me saying so. There was a little bit of... Should we do it together? If ever they make another movie of Thunderbirds, they've got to sign us up, haven't they?
Yeah, I've got something stuck up my back. Have you got one of them radios?
I have got a radio, Mike. You're not smuggling anything into the studio, are you? You know they search every cavity. Well, you do know, I'm sure. So listen, how are you kind of like chemically at the moment? Are you clean of substances and stuff like that, or are you still involving yourself in that kind of malarkey?
Well, part of my probation schedule is getting tested twice a week.
So they have to test you?
For crack and heroin. That's part of the court order, that I get tested twice a week, and if they don't see a positive change, then God knows what's going to happen. But probably for the first time in my life, I'm up in the stakes in the battle against it. I went to Portugal the other week to go for another anti-heroin implant. And the bastards at the Portuguese customs actually cut open the implants looking for drugs. You know what I mean? That's the kind of luck I've had. So I got clean.
Yeah.
I got clean in Portugal. I was waiting for the implant to come, and they've cracked open the box of implants and they've become sterile, so they couldn't put it in.
So you can't use it.
So
I didn't even know there was such a thing as an anti-heroin implant you could have. This is something they put in your body and then you can't have... If you did those drugs, you'd be ill, would you?
Well, no, it blocks all the opiate receptors, so you can't do smatters.
So, but you can't use that now because that one's been opened, it's not fresh anymore?
No.
Sterile. So what, you sent off for another one, or...?
They sent off for another one, but they seem to have a public holiday every other day in Portugal. And Dr. Carlos, I don't know, he just ran around sweating, promising me an implant. And
Are you sure there is a doctor called Carlos who's... This does sound a little like some of this might have been made up, Pete.
It's been hot, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah. But you know, let's be a bit serious about this. You are genuinely trying to get away from that addiction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I wish you well in that, because that's... it must be just the hardest thing on earth. I really wish you well with that. Because I think, you know, you're a huge talent. I mean, I loved the work you did when you were in the Libertines. I very much enjoyed the work you do with Baby Shambles as well. I've seen you perform live. You're a tremendous live performer. And you know, I'm sure you know, that kind of behaviour tends to end in only a few ways, and none of them particularly pretty. And I'm sure you wouldn't wish that on yourself, would you?
Well, death.
Well, not just death, or just like, you know, being messed up and being you know,
being
pretty
messed up and
useless.
skint and paranoid and...
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't wish it on myself or anyone.
Yeah. But you know, when people are looking for the outside in, you know, sometimes it seems like, not just you, but other people involved, specifically in rock and roll, like that behaviour because there's a certain romance to it. There's a certain kind of like outlaw feeling to it. You know what I mean? It's like being the kind of like the poet in the garret who's starving and is, you know, experimenting with substances because it gives you access to other ideas and other experiences, which is, you know, in some ways I can understand. But at the same time, I imagine the reality isn't anywhere near as attractive or pleasant as that.
No, melody is romantic and poetry can be romantic. I mean, a garret can be romantic, but yourself over isn't romantic, and being in jail isn't romantic either. So...
When you were in jail, you've been in jail once now, no? Is that right?
Once or twice.
Once or twice, okay. Right. And you wrote your diaries while you're in there, which is, you know, once again, I think it's the only positive thing perhaps one can do when you're inside like that, as well as think about what's going on. Do you look at things like that and think, okay, I'm going to find a positive in the negative always, or is that just something that...
Yeah, being in jail as well is generally the cleanest that I find myself, like, strangely enough, even though like the jails are riddled with drugs.
But would not part of you think, okay, you know, you don't want to be in jail, but...
But anyway, what I was going to say was it does lead to, yeah, sitting down and probably like rediscovering writing, rediscovering songwriting as well, being clean.
And thinking about yourself and your situation.
Just drugs, like, I don't know, there is this myth that it can add to a creative talent and you can use a creative environment in a creative way, but I think my songwriting probably suffers because of drugs, and therefore being clean is better for that. But that's mostly what I write about anyway, so it's a vicious circle.
Do people try to save you? Do you get the feeling that people out there... Because when I had you on the show before The Libertines, I was thinking of kidnapping you and locking you in a room afterwards.
Did you see my hair that night?
You seemed a little bit wild and crazy. That was several years ago. There, were you with The Libertines, that's you with Carl on the show. Look at that haircut, what's going on there? Looks like you put your finger in a socket. Brilliant performance though, great song, brilliant performance. And I thought at the time, you know, here's a guy who I admire, here's a band I really admire. And to a man of my age, you know, you seem like kids really, and I thought, it's gonna end badly. And people worry, they care about you even if they don't know you. Are you aware of that? Does that kind of figure in things? Do you find it annoying at all that people feel like they should...
It can be annoying if you're in quite a good mood and you're feeling alright and someone's come up to you going, oh Pete, but what are you going to do? And you're thinking, well, you know, have an ice cream, watch this. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
But can you understand where it's coming from?
Yeah.
Because when you perform with Elton at Live 8, and I don't know if you saw it, but on Live 8, Pete performed with Elton John, they did the T-Rex song, Children of the Revolution, and I very much enjoyed it. You kind of, a lot of people, there's sort of mixed feelings about it. Some people said it was a bit shambolic, and I found that quite charming, I enjoyed that. But didn't Elton offer to sort you out, try to help you out as well? You do well to look at that twice, young man. That's a great shot, isn't it? Was it fun doing that? Because that was a huge crowd at Live 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was just some fellow down the front the whole way through shouting, give us your hat, give us your hat. It put me right off, to be honest. The rehearsal's good.
Well, the performance wasn't bad. It was kind of like, it was fun, because it didn't seem too kind of polished, you know, and I quite enjoyed that. Now, let's talk about you and the Libertines, because I love both the Libertines albums, played them to death, and part of me was, you know, very upset that you split up. What happened there? What was the breakup over? And what's your relationship like now?
Well, it wasn't really a split, was it? I was kind of just became persona non grata. I was booted out, basically, me and the band. I wasn't allowed, they had extra security at gigs, so I couldn't turn up to the shows. I wasn't allowed anywhere near the studio. It was just exile.
And why did that happen?
Well, it happened supposedly because of drugs. But really it was because I didn't want to tour the second album, I wanted to record. And they were quite happy to stay on the conveyor belt. But there's all kinds of bitterness, and who knows, like, maybe one day we'll sit down, me and Carl, say one day, because we don't have a relationship, he doesn't talk to me. None of them talk to me.
Would you like to talk to them though? I mean, would you be welcome to that?
I don't know.
Well, have a think about it. But looking back, what was the period you preferred the most? Was it the early years, the mayhem, the unsuccessful years when you were just doing it, or was the success what you'd hoped?
The success was just writing songs with my mate, like, that I wanted to play again and again. That was always a success.
And now when you write songs without him, when you write songs on your own, does it feel the same, or is there a spark missing? Because I felt that there was a real relationship there. I mean, you know, looking at it, it seemed like you guys genuinely, and from what I saw you performing live, you genuinely had a special relationship.
Yeah, we were best mates, and like, we loved each other, and we loved what we did, and we were like, fiercely proud of what we did, and we took it right to the end. Or maybe not, I don't know.
Let's have a look. This is the Libertines in action.
If you wanna try, there's no worse you could do. I know you lie, I'm still in love with you. Can't take me anywhere, I'll take you anywhere. You can't take me anywhere, I can't take you anywhere. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. Oh, you can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no, you can't stand me, no. You can't stand me, no. You can't stand me now. Are we enough to keep it together? Or do we just keep on pretending and hope our luck is never ending? Or you tried to pull the wool, I wasn't feeling too clever. And you take all that blending until you need a mending on.
What a great band. Well, you know, we've always got that. That's the nice thing. You're not together at the moment, but we've always got that. OK, let me ask you about... Can I ask you about your personal life a bit more, Pete? That's a yes, then. Now, you and Kate Moss, is it on, is it off, is it in, is it out, is it up, is it down, is it right, is it wrong? What's going on?
It's right and wrong and in and out and up and down. It's like, she said, like, give up smack and don't ever go on the Jonathan Ross show, like, again.
Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, is it? Seriously, did she...
Seriously.
She's trying to get you to give up the substances?
Yeah, she's had enough, I think, of dirty fingers and whatnot.
Because she clearly either did care about you or still does care about you. And you obviously cared about her. And part of, you know, this is just from the outside looking in, you look like a great couple. It was like a perfect rock and roll couple. And it just was sort of like somehow right in a...
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this, I love her bones, like, and I always will. But it's not right for me to talk about it, see what I mean?
OK, so you don't want to talk about it now. That's fair enough, I respect that. Where do you live at the moment, Peter?
Hackney.
What kind of flat? Is it a nice bijou apartment or is it a bit of a shambolic mess?
It was a beautiful apartment. There's blood up the walls, God knows what.
Oh, for goodness sake. I don't think it's good for you to live somewhere like that.
No, like, it attracts vampires.
Well, it attracts the wrong kind of people to hang around. I have, at the end of one of my gardens, a gypsy caravan. Don't ask me how I bought it or why, but the internet has a lot to answer for. Would you like to come and live in my caravan till you get sorted out? And I'll bring you some sweet tea in the morning.
If Kate's potting shed isn't up for grabs still, then yeah, maybe, yeah.
If you want the caravan, you can move in.
Yeah?
But lights out at 11, right? And TV not on school nights.
I'll finish this. Actually, I'm going to give you this.
Please do.
I don't know if Carl gave you anything.
No, Carl, it's not a competition for my affections.
I'm only joking. I never gave the teacher anything ever.
I'm not your teacher.
No, I know.
Sure, I'm a wise man. You could learn from me, but I'm more of a mentor, I think. You know what I'm saying? Wow, look at that. It's a drawing. This is your own artwork, is it?
No, a mate did it. But
a mate...
Draw myself.
Well, what's the point of giving me something your mate did?
Well, I'm not going to draw myself, am I?
Well, why aren't you going to draw yourself, you lazy little thing? You know, look. It's a nice picture of you, I know that. It's the lyrics of Beg, Steal and Borrow.
Yeah.
And this is the song you're going to perform this evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
OK. Oh, and that's nice. It says, to Jonathan, Jane and family love Peter. That's really nice. He's won you all over, isn't he, eh? That's very kind of you, Peter. Thank you very much. That's very kind. OK. There's something kind of unusual about this song you're going to do because it's not available for sale or download, is it? But people can get it if they buy tickets for this gig you're doing, is that right?
Yeah, there's some rough versions on the internet, I think, but there's this, the single version we've recorded. It's been given away for free. If you buy a ticket for Get Loaded in the Park in London this summer, you get a free copy of Beg, Steal or Borrow.
There's some friends of mine went to this a few years ago. They did one of the party. It was August, I think this year it's August 27th. It's you, it's the Buzzcocks.
Yeah, Graham Coxon.
Graham Coxon, some great people performing. And it's in Clapham, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you buy a ticket for that, you get this free CD. Wow, that's something, isn't it? That's very nice of you. And you can perform it for us live. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you agree. He's a charming and intelligent young man, a great performer, and I wish you the very best. Don't hit me. Christ almighty. And if you miss him at the big gig in the park, you can possibly see him in my caravan. He'll be there from September through to Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Doherty. Thank you, Pete. Okay, thank you. As we just said, if you get yourself some tickets for Get Loaded in the park, you can get yourself a copy of this on CD. But now performing it for you live, it's Pete Doherty with Beg, Steal and Borrow.
Wait until tomorrow. I've already been, I've already seen all the sorrow that's in store. Well, if I beg, steal or borrow, just to hold on tighter to all the sorrow tries to choke. Or if I change my tune, maybe, well, I won't be bound to do, and I won't be bound to do, and I won't be bound to. As if I beg, steal or borrow, just to hold on tighter to all the sorrow tries to choke. But if I change my tune, maybe, well, I won't be bound to. A world where rats turns into stars. What a life on Mars, I can't wait until tomorrow. I've already been and I've already seen all the sorrow that's in store. They'll tell you anything, almost anything, just to get you in the car. You shouldn't tell them anything, but you told them everything. Oh, you take them far too far. Oh, what a life on Mars. What a life on